Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In this video, I'm going to show you how to design this magnetic button using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And we'll also use a library called GSAP for this finishing animation. So let's get started. Right, so here I have created this folder called magnetic button and I just opened it with VS Code. Let's create the necessary file. So let's create a new file called index.html. Let's create another file called style.css. And let's create one more file called main.js. So let's start with the HTML file. Now in VS Code, you can just type exclamation and press tab and you'll have this basic HTML5 code. And here in the head section, let's link our CSS file. And in the body, I'll just link the JavaScript file. Alright, let's start with the markup of our design. So the first thing we need to do is create a section to hold everything. So let's create a section with a class of hero. And let's create an h1. And let's copy this text and paste it right here. And after that, let's create an anchor tag for the button. So for the button, we'll give it a class of magnetic button. So let's type class magnetic button. And let's add a span for the text, because if you take a look at this button, when we hover over this button, we can see that the text also moves other than the button itself. So we will add that inside a span, and let's tap explode now. And we'll also add the link of GSAP library over here. So let's get the link. So you can just search for GSAP CDN and I'll just go to cdnjs.com and let's copy this link from here. So let's click on copy URL. And let's create a script tag, and in the src I'll just paste the link. Alright, so that's basically it with the HTML. So if I open this in our browser, let's see how it looks. So I have this extension called live server installed in VS Code. So once you have this installed, you can just go ahead and right click in the HTML file and click on open with live server. And here we can see our website is being displayed. We have the heading and the button. Right now let's write the CSS to make it look like this. So let's go back and let's go to the style.css file. First of all, let's target everything and let's set the margin to 0 and also the padding to 0. Let's also tap box sizing, border box, so that we have the correct height and width for all the elements. Let's target the body and let's tap background color. Let's set it to 0f, 0f, 0f. And let's set the color of all the text to white. And let's set the font family to, let's try Inter and sans serif. Right, now let's target the hero. So here we can see we have this section with a class of hero. Here let's type .hero. And let's set the minimum height of this to 100 viewport height. Let's set the display to flex direction to column. And align items to the center, justify content to the center. Let's add a gap of 40 pixels between the elements. So now we can see that the content is in the center. Now let's target the h1. So let's tap hero h1. Let's set the font size to clamp, 2.5 rem, 7 viewport width, and 6 rem. So this is basically a responsive font size. So if I decrease the width of the browser window, this is how it looks. Let's also set it to text align center. So here let's tap text align center. So this is how it looks. Now let's also set the font weight to 600 and let's add a letter spacing. Let's set it to negative 0.05 m. Alright, now let's go ahead and target the button. So for the button, we have a class called magnetic button. So let's type .magnetic button and let's set the padding to 22 pixels and 42 pixels. Let's add a border. Let's set it to 1 pixel solid RGBA, 255, 255, 255 and 0.35 for the opacity. Let's also set the border radius to 100 pixels. And let's set the color of the text to white. Let's remove the underline. Let's tap text decoration to none. And let's set the font size to 18 pixels. And let's set the cursor to pointer. Right now when we hover over this button, we need to add this hover effect. So we also need to change the border color to white color and also change the color of the text. So let's do that. Here let's tap magnetic button :hover and let's tap color of the text to 0f, 0f, 0f and let's set the border color to FFF. And here let's add a transition. let's set it to border color 0.3 seconds ease. So this is how it looks. Now when you hover over this, we also need to bring this white area up inside the button. So let's do that. Let's go back and let's create a before selector for that. So I'll just tap magnetic button colon before, and let's set the content to blank. Now we need to set the position of this relative to this button. So here for the button, let's type position relative, and here let's tap position absolute. Let's set the inset to 0 so that the top, left, right and bottom positions are set to 0. Let's set the background color to white, and by default let's set the transform scale to 0, and let's add a transition. Let's set it to transform 0.4 seconds ease. Here we can see when we hover over this, the transform is happening from the bottom, so it scales in from the bottom. So we also need to add a transform origin. So let's tap transform origin. Let's set it to bottom. Right now let's add the hover effect for the before. So let's tap magnetic button hover before, and here let's tap transform. Let's set it to scale 1. So now if you hover over this, we can see that this is how the button looks. Now we need to restrict the before selector from going outside this button. So for that, let's go ahead and let's set the overflow to hidden for the magnetic button. Now this is scaling for the X and the Y axis, so let's just scale for Y. So here let's tap scale Y. Let's do that over here as well. So now this is how it looks. Now the text is behind this before selector, so let's fix that. Here for the before selector, I'll just type z index of 1, and for the text we have this span, so let's type magnetic button span. Let's set the z index to 2. Let's also tap position relative, and this is how it looks. So the hover effect is working alright. Now the last thing we need to do is add the magnetic effect. So for that we will use some JavaScript. So let's go back and let's go to the main.js file. First of all, let's target all the buttons that we have in our page. So for the buttons, we're going to use this class called magnetic button. So let's tap const magnetic buttons equals document.querySelector all. Let's type magnetic button. Right now let's loop through all the buttons. So let's type magnetic buttons dot for each. Let's call each of the button, and let's create this arrow function. Now we need to add 2 event listeners, one for mouse move and one for mouse leave. So let's type button dot add event listener mouse move, and we'll get some value from this, so let's call it e, and here let's create a const called rect. Let's set it equal to button dot getBoundingClientRect. So this will give us all the information of this button. Now from this button we need to get the client X, the client Y, and the width and the left positions. So let's tap const X. Let's set it equal to e dot client X minus rect dot left minus rect dot width divided by 2, and let's do this for the Y as well. So let's tap Y over here. Let's tap client Y, and here let's tap top, and here instead of width we need to type height. Now these 2 lines of code will give us the position of the mouse pointer from the center of the button. So now let's go ahead and just console.log these values. So I'll just tap X, X, and console.log Y, Y. Let's go back and let's see what we get. So I'll just go to inspect, and let's go to the console, and now if we move this mouse pointer over this button, we get these values. So when we are in the center, we can see that the values are 0, and when we go to the left, the X value is negative, and when we go to the right, the X value is positive. You can see that on this left side over here. And when we go to the top, the Y value is negative, and when we go to the bottom, the Y value is positive. So in this way we get the exact position of the mouse pointer from the center of the button. Now we need to move this button based on this X and Y positions, but we need to move it a little bit, not exactly how much the mouse pointer is moving. So for that we will go ahead and use GSAP to make it easier and add some better easing. So let's type GSAP dot to, and let's type button and here let's set the x to x times 0.35. so this x is basically this x value that we get from here, and you can play around with this value. So I'll just show you how it will affect the button. So for now I'll just have y is y times 0.35, and let's set the duration to 0.4, and let's set the ease to power 3 dot out. And now let's also add an event listener for mouse leave. So here let's tap button dot add event listener mouse leave, and here we'll just go ahead and type GSAP dot to button. So this will set the x and y positions from the current position. So for that we are using 2. So let's tap x 0, y 0, and duration let's set it to 0.7, and ease let's set the ease to elastic dot out. Let's set the values to 1 and 0.3. So now let's see whether the magnetic effect is working. So let's go back and let's hover over this button, and we can see that the magnetic effect is working alright. So let me show you how the values change the effect. So let's go back, and here if I just change this to, for example, 2.35 for the x, then we can see that we are able to move this mouse a little more to the x axis. And if I do that for the y, we can see that the x axis moves a little bit, but we can move it up and down more. So this is what these values represent. And then we also have this duration. So this is how fast the button moves. So if we set it to 3.4, now if we move this, we can see that this button moves really slow. So I'll just set it back to 0.4, and here also we have the duration, so you can set it to whatever you want. So for example, if I just set it to 2.7, here we can see that the button slowly comes back to the default position. I'll just set it back to 0.7, and then we have this elastic value. So I'll just set it to, for example, 4, and now if you go back and if I hover over this, we can see that we have a lot more elasticity. So this is how it works. So that's basically how you can create this magnetic button for your website using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and a little bit of GSAP. So that's basically it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.